Moving through the full-year financial reporting of airlines, we've come to the third major network carrier in the United States, United Airlines. If you're not interested in the finer details of the company's performance, we could just tell you now that the Star Alliance member did much better than American, but trailed behind rival Delta Airlines. However, for those who are keen to see the figures, just keep watching. Let's first start with operating revenue. The carrier earned about $51.8 billion through its passenger services and another $1.7 billion through its cargo operations. Roughly more than double what the airline earned in cargo was its other operating revenue, which includes its loyalty program Mileage Plus. Between 2023 and 2024, the airline saw growth in all three sectors, but cargo saw the largest jump, with growth of 16.6% year-over-year. The airline's total operating revenue was a little over $57 billion, which is 6% higher than 2023. As for operating expenses, United's largest spend was on salaries and related costs, which totaled about $16.7 billion. Aircraft fuel was the second largest expenditure at about $11.8 billion. United's salary expenditures were nearly 13% more than in 2023, while the carrier managed to lower its fuel costs by 7.1% compared to the previous year. With operating expenses totaling a little less than $52 billion, United's operating income was about $5.01 billion. This was an impressive 21% higher than in 2023. Then, after we further subtract United's non-operating expenses of $928 million, which includes interest on debt, the airline's income before income tax was $4.17 billion. It's yet another impressive achievement, as it's 23% higher than 2023's pre-tax income. It was a solid 2024 for United Airlines when compared to its US network competitors. The airline's pre-tax income was much higher than American's, which was $1.154 billion, although it was beat out by Delta. The SkyTeam Alliance carrier achieved a pre-tax income of $5.2 billion. If you're interested in airline financials, be sure to check out our videos on the profits of the other two carriers if you haven't already done so. But getting to United's performance metrics, we can see that it had a healthy domestic load factor of 85.1% and an international load factor of 80.6%. United says that in 2024 it operated its largest ever domestic schedule, with 1.3 million flights to over 200 cities, including over 30 new routes. Over the year, the company set a record for most customers carried at nearly 174 million system-wide, and an average of 4,340 daily flights. In fact, United operated 145 more mainline flights per day compared to 2023. In Q4, United set a company record for the number of passengers carried in a single quarter. In December, the airline experienced its busiest 3 days in company history based on customers carried. Yes, it's been a very successful 2024 for United Airlines, and that's despite certain setbacks and issues facing the carrier. Interestingly, while the airline was affected by CrowdStrike, it didn't face the same catastrophe as Delta. Speaking about this in its third quarter earnings call, United CFO Mike Leskinen took a small jab at its rival, saying, "Healthy businesses don't make excuses about CrowdStrike, don't make excuses about weather." Leskinen went on saying, "We built into our guidance the expectation there will be one act of God in a quarter that impacts the business in a negative way. And if that impact ends up not being so large, then we can come at the high end or beat out guidance." The airline also pulled off its stellar 2024 performance despite delays in the delivery of new aircraft, particularly from Boeing, which is a massive supplier for United. While the carrier has ordered A321neo family aircraft, it has been leaning far more on Boeing for its new jets. You may recall that in recent years, United has placed huge orders with Boeing for 737 MAX and 787 Dreamliner aircraft. This included the purchase of 100 Dreamliners, the largest 787 deal in Boeing history. Delays, largely due to Boeing's issues, resulted in United having to cut back its plans for growth over the year. The head of United's Human Resources and Labour Relations told reporters in mid-2024 that the carrier was expecting to hire close to 10,000 new employees for the year, compared with 13,000 to 15,000 employees planned earlier. As noted by Reuters, aircraft delays resulted in reduced aircraft utilization at the airline, resulting in overstaffing. United had to pause pilot hiring and went further by offering voluntary unpaid leave to pilots to deal with excess staffing. 2025 will see United still dealing with aircraft delivery delays. However, if we assume nothing gets worse for plane makers, then at least the slower output of new aircraft is accounted for in the airline's plans. On January 21, 2025, United put out its fleet plan for the year. We report on this in more detail in a video on our main channel, but in short, the airline won't be retiring any of its 777s, 767s or 757s. Its 737NG fleet of -700s, 800s and 900s will stay the same as well. In terms of new deliveries, United isn't expecting too much from Boeing: 7 Dreamliners over the course of the year and 35 737 MAXes. On the Airbus side, United is expecting to receive 22 jets from the A321neo family, which includes XLRs. These jets should be coming directly from Airbus. United's notable deal with aircraft lessor SMBC Aviation Capital for CFM LEAP-powered A321neos are scheduled to deliver from 2026. And finally, on the topic of fleet plans, it would appear that there are enough new aircraft deliveries coming into the airline to enable the retirement of some older jets. Over the course of 2025, the airline plans to say goodbye to 20 older Airbus narrowbodies, its A319 and A320ceos. There are also enough new jets being delivered in 2025 for the airline to carry through with its exciting network expansion plans. You may recall that United announced the largest international expansion in the airline's history, with service to 9 new international destinations for summer 2025. Notably, 8 of these new destinations are not served by any other U.S. carrier. The long list includes Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, Nuuk, Greenland, Kaohsiung, Taiwan, Palermo, Italy, Bilbao, Spain, Faro and Madeira in Portugal, Puerto Escondido in Mexico, and Dakar in Senegal. And so, what do you think of United's 2024 performance, particularly as it compares to American and Delta? And how do you think it'll do in 2025 with its brand new routes? Let us know your thoughts by leaving a comment. Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.